Don Bosco was a vir Eucharisticus, that is, a saint formed through and through by the Eucharist. He was so passionate about the Eucharist that he communicated his passion to the young people. He carefully prepared for communion with the Lord through the sacrament of reconciliation. For Don Bosco, confession and the Eucharist were the two sacraments that inculcated in young people the Christian virtues and holiness.
One of the remarkable dreams of Don Bosco was that of the church like a ship taking refuge between two pillars in the sea. He could see a very big ship in the sea, which he understood as the church. There were many smaller ships drawn up to do battle against the big ship. They were the enemies of the church and persecutions. Two pillars or columns were protruding from the sea, a little distant from each other. On the top of one was a statue of Our Lady with help of Christians written beneath. On top of the other pillar was a host beneath which was written Salvation of the Faithful. The commander of the ship was the Pope. He was directing all his energies to steering the ship between those two columns or pillars. All the enemy ships moved to attack. Sometimes the large ship, the church, got large deep holes in its sides. But no sooner was the harm done than a gentle breeze blew from the two columns and the cracks closed up and the gaps were stopped immediately.
In a battle, the Pope fell gravely wounded. Immediately, those who were with him helped him up. A second time the Pope was struck. This time he fell and died. The new Pope was so promptly chosen that the enemies began to lose courage. The new Pope overcame all obstacles and enemies and guided the ship right between the two columns. He fastened a chain from the bow of the ship to the column on which stands the host, and fastened a chain from the ship's stern to the column on which stands the statue of Our Lady. All the ships which had fought against the Pope's ship were scattered and broke into pieces, and other smaller ships which had fought for the Pope's ship now bound themselves to the same two columns. From the bottom of my heart, I recommend frequent confession and communion, but both of these sacraments should be received with the proper dispositions so that progress in virtue can be made each time.
Frequent communion is a solid column upon which one pole of the world rests, and devotion to Our Lady is the column which supports the other pole.
I want you to make use of two spiritual wings, devotion to the Blessed Sacrament and devotion to the Blessed Virgin. These two wings, these two devotion, you may be sure will soon help you raise yourself toward heaven. Holy Communion is the surest means to keep pure because it is the best act of love of God.
Just as the manna was the daily nourishment of the Hebrews in the desert, so the Holy Communion should be our support and our daily nourishment.
God found a way of giving our souls suitable and spiritual food, that is, His very divinity. Frequent communion is the great pillar which upholds the moral and material world so that it might not collapse into ruin. May Jesus in the Eucharist be the center of the lives of each of us.